We just can't get enough of the Loud House, so we took our obsession to the next level and started reading Loud House fan fiction. Stay tuned to find out about our favorite fanfics starring the Loud family. Hey Loud House fans! If you want more awesome videos like this one, click subscribe. Now let's get to the 10 Loud House fanfics that are better than the original.
I've literally been working for 3 months to get this many likes on my photos.
Loud Loud West. We see a lot of Lori's boyfriend Bobby on the Loud House. After all, she is a 17-year-old girl. It's normal to date at that age. But what about Lenny? She's 16 and stylish. Sure, she isn't always the brightest crayon in the box, but it's kind of weird that she never dates, right? Well, if you've ever wondered what type of guy Lenny would date, look no further than Loud Loud West on fanfiction.net. In this story, the author, Vincent St. Germain, has created an awesome original character for Lenny's boyfriend. OCs can be hit or miss in fanfiction series, but we are totally loving this guy. Kenny Dodgers has a tough cowboy vibe going on, but he's actually a total sweetie just like Lenny. In the story, Lenny brings her new boyfriend and his parents over to meet her giant family, but Lori is under the impression that he is a huge bully. She has seen him act like a bully at school, and she goes into total overprotective big sister mode. She won't give him a chance to explain. The rest of the Loud siblings are totally impressed by how awesome Kenny is, but Lori runs him off. It's got a happy ending though. We love seeing Lori be all protective of Lenny, but we're glad she realizes her mistake.
How could you?
A special bond. Speaking of Lori, we've got another great fic featuring the eldest Loud sister. Sure, Lori can be really bossy, but you kind of have to be when you're the oldest of 11 siblings. But overall, she's a really great big sister. Remember how upset all the Loud kids were when she tried to move into the garage? Well, one day Lori is going to move off to college most likely. In a special bond on Archive of Our Own, writer Wyoming Parmesan takes a look at how the siblings will react to Lori leaving. The author focuses on how Lincoln will feel especially. Be prepared to get all up in your feelings with this story. It's not very long, but it's super sweet. Lori is loading all her stuff into the car to take to college, but then she realizes Lincoln is nowhere to be found. She goes up to his room and she sees that he is devastated about her leaving. She tries to reassure him, and then she tells him a story about when he was a baby. She reassures him that they have a special bond. It's an adorable story. The author is really talented. Which Loud sister do you think will have the hardest time when Lori goes off to college?
You guys better shake a leg. There's a ghost afoot.
The Baby I Learned to Love. Wyoming Parmesan on Archive of Our Own is really good at getting us in our feels. This author has also written quite a few Loud House fanfics, so they know the characters really well. Imagine what the Loud family would have looked like when Lincoln was just a baby. There would have been 5 sisters, and Lynn would have been the youngest. A lot of times, kids struggle when they are no longer the baby of the family. In The Baby I Learned to Love, we find out that Lynn wasn't always so keen on being a big sister. This story is written in the first person from Lynn's point of view. She talks about how much she loves Lincoln. He is pretty much her favorite sibling, but through a series of flashbacks, she reveals that that wasn't always the case. She talks about her first impression of baby Lincoln, and we can really see how she grew to love him. It's such a sweet story. The Loud family may be crazy, but they all really love each other. This sort of feel-good story may not make for great television since it isn't just comedy. But that's the great thing about fanfiction. We can see so much more of the characters. Nick Hero's Halloween Loud Apparitions. Let's get out of the lovey-dovey stories and talk about a hilarious adventure. One of the best things about fan fiction is all of the crossovers. A lot of authors take multiple fandoms and mash them together for something totally awesome. And Nick Hero's Halloween Loud Apparitions does just that. This is a Loud House and Danny Phantom crossover. Danny Phantom is another Nickelodeon cartoon that was on the air from 2004 to 2007. It was super popular. In the original show, Danny Fenton was a teenage boy who got ghost fighting superpowers. His superhero name was Danny Phantom. In this story by Crapper Geek on fanfiction.net, Lisa Loud builds a ghost portal to disprove Danny's dad's work on ghosts. She thinks there's a perfectly scientific explanation for ghosts, that they are aliens with ghost-like DNA. But she accidentally lets an evil ghost loose on the Loud family. The Loud siblings then have to go find Danny Phantom and help him fight this evil spirit. And another old-school Nickelodeon character makes an appearance. Invader Zim was a cartoon that started in 2000. This is such a fun story, and it is really creative. It's a spooky story that is perfect for Halloween. An excellent night for an exorcism. We found another great spooky fanfiction story. This time the star of the fic is Luna Loud. Luna is such a great character. She's a total rocker, and she is overall one of the most fun Loud sisters. Luna is also really important because it is implied that she is interested in both boys and girls. There aren't a lot of bi cartoon characters, so this is a big deal. And because of her interest in Samantha Sharp, there are a ton of Luna/Sam ships in the fanfic world. There is no right or wrong way to write a fanfiction story, and An Excellent Night for an Exorcism really pushes those creative boundaries. Mr. Tie-Dye on Archive of Our Own wrote this story in the form of a poem or song lyrics. In the story, Luna and Sam are dating. They are also rocking out together, but somehow their rock music summons a demon. Oh no! Luna has to defeat the demon with music. It's wild and fun, and we love that the whole story rhymes. This one does have some strong language though, so make sure your parents are okay with a few bad words. If they are, you will love this story. Mixed Up. Vincent St. Germain has written quite a few Loud House fanfics on fanfiction.net. He really knows the characters, and we love that he often writes them just like a script. He even has Lincoln talking to the camera, just like in the real show. One of the things we love about his story, Mixed Up, is that we get a heavy dose of Clyde. Clyde is such an awesome, underrated character. In this fic, Lincoln finds out that Lynn Loud and Clyde are madly in love. They say opposites attract, right? Well, when Lincoln finds out, he is confused. It's not that he doesn't approve, but he doesn't know how to feel about it. It's pretty complicated to have your best friend dating your sister after all. When Lola sticks her nose in the mess, she thinks Lincoln doesn't approve, which complicates things even worse. Lola is good at that, isn't she? Mixed Up isn't a very long fic, but it's a great read. We wonder if that will ever happen on the TV show. Do you ship Lynn and Clyde? Or are they too different to be in love? Keep watching for another great Loud House ship from the fan fiction world.
These are awesome!
In Charge. Lori is a pretty busy girl. She's on the golf team and has a boyfriend, so it's normal to assume that she can't always be in charge of her siblings when the parents are out. But who would she leave in charge instead? Linny is the next oldest, but she isn't all that smart. What would happen if Linny was left in charge of all the younger Loud siblings? It can't be good. Rick Hammerstill is an author on Archive of Our Own. He wrote the story In Charge about Linny, and in this hilarious fic, Linny lets power get to her head. Lori didn't want to leave Lenny in charge, but Lenny convinces her that she'll be fine. Lenny then takes extreme measures to keep her siblings from acting up. She does things like gluing the knobs on Luna's speakers and getting rid of Lisa's chemicals. She keeps Lucy out of the vents by locking them up. She even takes away Lola's makeup. The siblings are not too happy about this. They go to Plan C to keep Lenny from being in command, but Lenny really just wants to make Lori proud. Even though she kind of goes crazy with a little power, you still kind of feel sorry for her. We really love how Lenny and Luna are portrayed in this story. It's a great read. Attack of the 50-Foot Sister. We love it when one of Lisa Loud's experiments backfires, and that's exactly what happens in Attack of the 50-Foot Sister by S. Thompson 1. You can find this on fanfiction.net. In this fic, it's not exactly Lisa's fault though. The story opens with Lisa measuring all of her siblings. Lynn is really upset to find out that Lincoln is taller than her. She's older, so she feels like she should be taller. She is made fun of for this, so she decides to drink one of Lisa's experiments to get taller, but she ends up too tall. She grows to a gigantic 50 feet and destroys everything in her path. The siblings have to stop her from destroying even more and figure out how to shrink her back down to size. At first, Lynn is pretty amused with her new power. One of the best things about this story is that the author really captured the humor and great one-liners from the original show. Luann makes terrible jokes as always. Lucy calls her sister an Empire State human. The whole story feels really authentic and true to the characters. If you like this writing, check out the author's longer fic called Linka's Loud House. It's a gender bend where Lincoln is another girl in a family full of sisters. Lefty Loosie. Lucy Loud is one of the most underrated Loud siblings. The goth girl is kind of creepy and seriously dramatic. She spooks her siblings and is obsessed with all things dark. She's also a poet. We wanted to really get inside Lucy's head, and this fic is perfect for that. Lefty Loosie was written by Wee Villain, an archive of our own. In this story, Lucy has broken her arm. She can't write for 2 whole months. She takes it really hard. She is bored and miserable and is so dark and dramatic about the whole thing. She sighs a lot, and she compares her broken arm to things like being buried alive or being a zombie. Her flair for the dramatic is so funny. That's just so Lucy. Her younger sister Lana blames herself for Lucy's accident, but Lucy doesn't. We get to see Lucy be a good big sister and reassure Lana. It's a side of Lucy we don't really get to see in the TV show. Lucy and Lana bond in a sweet but hilarious way. It's a really creative story, and we just love seeing more of Lucy and Lana. We can't recommend this fic enough.
Yeah, my throat's killing me, and I think I've got a fever.
Ronnie, the later years. All you Ronnie and Lincoln shippers out there, rejoice! We have not just one fanfic for you, but a whole series. Ronnie Ann is Lincoln's crush in the Loud House. She's the toughest girl in school. On Archive of Our Own, author Wyoming Parmesan has written a series of fics about Ronnie Ann and Lincoln as adults who are dating and later married. The first fic, The Advice of a Sister, is about the trouble they have when they first move in together. My Girl is a quick romantic read about a date night. Does He Care Too Much? Is all about what it's like to be married to Lincoln. Ronnie Ann is pregnant in this story. And finally, New Baby Blues is all about their first child, whose name starts with an L, of course. It's a totally awesome series. Ronnie Ann and Lincoln are a great couple. We love to imagine that they grow up and get married. They totally bond over having a large family. Each of the stories is a quick read, but they are totally well written. And the author just updated on September 30th, 2018. You can subscribe to the whole series in case they post more. Who is your Loud House OTP? Is it Ronnie-kun? Let us know in the comments. Those are 10 amazing Loud House fanfiction stories that might be even better than the original show. If you want more awesome videos, check out our community page and don't forget to subscribe.